And Ahmedabad administration has decided to impose a complete curfew starting from 9 p.m. tonight till Monday morning at 6 a.m. During this period, only shops selling milk and medicines will be allowed to stay open. Ahmedabad has been witnessing a steady rise in COVID cases since the beginning of November. The city is now witnessing over 200 COVID infections almost on a daily basis. The number previous to this was around 125 to 130 just a few months ago. Meanwhile, schools and colleges in Gujarat will not reopen from November 23rd, as had been decided earlier. But due to the current COVID situation, that plan has also been stalled. I'm joined by my colleague Disha Shah over the phone line on this. Disha, have you managed to speak to the Ahmedabad civic authorities as to what actually triggered, besides the caseload numbers, of course, any other concerns that the civic authorities have, which have led them to reimpose this sort of a curfew?
Well, Tanima, definitely, as we all know that the city of Ahmedabad had, it was seeing closely about 100 to 120 cases on a daily basis for the last 3 to 4 months. But now, in the first week of November, due to, preparations of the festivities and even with Diwali around the corner, a lot of people started, coming out on the roads and no discipline as such was being maintained. So that is what the Ahmedabad municipal authorities have told us, that now the caseload has doubled per day. So what it used to be 125 before, now on an average there are about over 200 cases that are coming every day. And to ensure that the cases do not rise further, there is a 57-hour curfew period that we can talk about only in the city of Ahmedabad, which is one of the busiest and famous in the entire state of Gujarat. So starting from Friday night 9 p.m. to Monday morning 6 a.m. there is a complete curfew that has been imposed by the Gujarat government. Only milk and essential shops will be allowed to operate, like the medical stores. That's only the word coming in. But on the other hand, Tanima, it's also important to know that weekend is one of the period where people go out in large numbers, and specifically after Diwali as such. And that is why, to ensure that specifically on weekends people stay home, that is why this curfew has been imposed. On the other hand, keeping in mind, of course, the cases that is increasing, the schools that were supposed to reopen on 23rd of November, that also has been postponed till further orders, keeping in mind the cases that has been suddenly on the rise in the city.
That's right. Disha, a quick question before we let you go. Is there a concern in terms of COVID beds available in the city? We have also been flashing those numbers on our screen, where we can in fact see that in terms of private hospitals, the availability, vacant beds are going down. 400 only vacant beds available in private hospitals, where civic body reserved beds, that's the figure. And in private hospitals who have in fact reserved their own COVID beds, the availability numbers down to 169. So is there a concern that COVID bed availability is also something which the civic authorities are looking at when it comes to imposing such a sort of curfew?
Well, Tanima, definitely yes. So the Ahmedabad municipal authorities have pulled out the latest numbers, and what they say that keeping in mind the rising number of COVID cases, they have made additional 900 COVID beds available at 4 major government-run hospitals in and around Ahmedabad. So these are specifically the Kidney Hospital, Cancer Hospital, Sola Civil Hospital, and in adjoining there's a Gandhinagar Civil Hospital. So in 4 major hospitals, they have made addition of 900 COVID beds specifically for the serious patients. But overall, if you talk about in the city of Ahmedabad, there are about 2,637 beds available. That is what the Ahmedabad municipal authorities are claiming. And there's no shortage as of now. But keeping in mind the rising cases, they have, in a way, added 900 more beds.
Right. Disha, we'll keep coming back to you on this big story. Thank you so much for joining us with that update.